What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the WandaVision chat, because that's what we're going to be doing on this episode. We're going to be going over all of the spoilers, hopefully. Things that we didn't understand or things that maybe we do understand. All the craziness that happens in WandaVision episode 4. So stay tuned for that. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Thanks for joining us. With me talking WandaVision is my fellow friends. Starting with my man, Seth. What's up, Seth?
What's going on, everybody? Episode 4 answered a lot of questions and helped clear things up.
Sort of.
No questions. I feel good about it.
I felt really good about it. We haven't gotten there yet, though. But yeah, I feel real good about it. Frankie, how you doing, man?
Good. My favorite part of the week, hanging out with you guys.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got the Princess of Mars today. What is going on, Nilda?
We're doing good.
You were actually being generous. I was going to say the Princess of Uranus.
What's up with doing penises and then giving me a taco emoji?
I'm in a butt stuff kind of mood today.
Nice. I definitely know what to get you for Christmas.
Oh,
A Roto-Rooter.
The works has been a little backed up. I could use a good pipe cleaning. Craig?
We got my man Craig in the house. What is up, Craig?
and there's the segue.
I got to follow that. I am the plumber, so.
I literally just want to go to Craig's house and go play miniature golf
Yeah.
with the new grass.
Hey, Craig, any secrets for unblocking blockage?
Oh, my God. We're supposed to be talking about WandaVision.
Yeah, no,
Jesus. Not
I'm so
television.
glad this show is over the age of 18.
What did Wanda say? I have everything under control.
We have
nothing
under control today.
So for
I have a
those of
very
you
hard
who are
time
still
controlling
here,
Seth.
We'll talk about
George is
WandaVision.
secretly
Yeah,
having a meltdown.
How you doing, Craig?
Good.
That's what's up, man.
Long week, but
Yeah.
glad to be here. As Frankie said, one of the highlights of my week.
Yeah, man. I have a good time doing this. So, what did you guys think of this past week's episode, man?
It was great.
One more start.
It's good.
It was great. We got a lot of answers, but you guys think we got new answers. But I kind of had a feeling that it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon but I'm glad it did. That they had the first 3 episodes were kind of telling the story, but I know myself, and a lot of other people were kind of confused
Myself.
Yeah, me, myself, and I, whatever. So,
There's three of you?
there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people.
There mess today.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people that were confused by the first 3 episodes, obviously trying to figure out what was going on. But with this episode, we got a lot of answers, but now also we've got newer questions. So.
Everybody feel the same way? Got anything different to say?
No, I feel like it's headed in a good direction. I mean, we got what's Marvel on this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're like, what the hell's going on up to now? And then we get this episode, and we're like, okay, starting to feel it again.
Yeah.
So
Hush all this is stupid people up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
I really like
WandaVision.
it's kind of like with Star Wars, what they're doing now. I like how everything ties around, where it's like you've already seen all this, and then you see how it all fits together.
I would like just to point out one thing. I would like just once if we can have a talk show and not bring Star Wars into it.
Nope, we can't.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to that.
Yeah, it's like 6 degrees. What is it? The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's the 6 degrees of Star Wars. Everything works its way back to Star Wars.
Always.
You're never going to win this. You have 3 people that are big Star Wars.
I get it. Listen, I like Star Wars too, but we're talking about Marvel. But technically, if you want to bounce it back, well, Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Star Wars. Hence the 6 degrees back to Star Wars.
2 degrees.
The mouse said talk about all of it at once.
The mouse. that damn rat needs his cut.
Yeah. Filoni's got to go back there.
What'd you think of that intro?
I loved it.
Killer.
Gave me that what was it, Endgame? When Hawkeye loses his family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say that was great because we know, obviously after the snap in Endgame, everyone was like, you didn't know how everybody came back or anything like that.
Right.
And then also the same thing with with Far From Home. Again, they talked about it after the snap, but you never really saw what happened. But with this, you actually saw people materializing back from everything that had happened, which was great. Which was great because I wish they would have done that in Endgame, but I guess not. Like, maybe they should have reshown Doctor Strange and everybody reforming on Titan and everybody reforming on Wakanda and but no, that was great. I like that. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Far From Home, they kind of touched on. Trying to remember, they were in the gymnasium and people appearing, so they kind of did the chaos thing a little bit. But I really liked the fact that it was just like total chaos. What's going on?
Shaky cam.
Yeah.
Make you feel
very
like
cool.
Like you don't know what's going on. I thought also that was kind of neat because like at the beginning of Endgame, you started off with and Frankie just brought it. They started off with Hawkeye losing his family, and you see kind of like the craziness of what that is like. And then this one here has the craziness of everybody coming back. So it's like got that whole. I felt like it tied into that really well.
And it just started off real intense. I mean, that little bit, and it went like within 30 seconds, it was intense.
Yeah,
Went from 0 to 60.
Yeah,
right.
I do have like some issues with the time, but like I just saw Endgame again before we did the Geek Show last night, and then the end after the battle that took place right after they finish off Thanos and Stark dies. It feels like more time passes than what is happening with Monica. It's like in the very next scene after the credits, she's going back to work.
So when they were walking, he says it's been 3 weeks and you're already back.
He said 3 weeks.
Yeah, he said 3 weeks in the show.
Yeah, I think he only said a week. I mean, I got to look back and see that. If you notice, when she walks into Sword, they have those TV screens at the very top, and they're celebrating everybody returning. And I guess maybe they would celebrate for 3 weeks. I guess if people have been gone for that long, 5 years.
Right.
Weren't they gone for 3 years? That's what
They've been gone 5 years.
It was 5. It was 5.
They've been gone 5 years. What happened is her mother died 3 years.
3 years ago.
In the past. No. That's why I feel like she was showing up to work sooner. But you said it said 3 weeks. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, she said. Yeah, the guy said 3. Yeah, the guy said 3.
Okay.
3 weeks.
So it's been 3 weeks. So I guess the time thing is about right.
It was 3 weeks after she came back from the snap. She needed time to grieve.
Which, how much of a dick move is that? That she's been back 3 weeks. She's going to come back to work, and you don't do her badge.
Yeah. Right. Right.
It was on purpose.
I have to say, one of my favorite things of this show is the music. I love the score. Whoever's been picking all the music for the show has been doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yep.
That end song.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how in the beginning of that episode, after she finds out that her mom died, she goes back to Sword, and the mom had put, who was the original director, I guess, of Sword, put protocols in place so she wouldn't, the daughter wouldn't have to do anything or not be the director, like not take over, and and I think she might have felt like a little salty about that.
She did seem like that, right?
Yeah, because
she was really snappy with that dude.
Yeah, with the temporary director.
Yeah,
because that was her going to be her gig, and he basically stepped in and was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen."
Right.
So, is there anything to the mom restricting her to Earth other than just trying to protect her, or is there something backstory there?
What I got out of that though was that there was protocol put in place that if anybody came back, they don't know what happened to them, where they went. So are they compromised, and are they going to be a threat to anything that they got going on?
That's how I took that.
I didn't take it so much as keeping somebody away from. It was just we got to make sure everybody's good when they come back and not,
gotcha.
Been alien probed.
Now during
make Seth happy.
Hashtag butt stuff.
Everything goes to
the butt. This is gonna be
that's gonna be Seth's caption to his OnlyFans page.
Yeah. All in.
Which I'm secretly making in.
What's poppin'? The all anal final adventure.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
We are never going to be able to be shown on regular TV. Ever.
Dude, my 17-year-old brother watches this show.
Hide your kids. Setsu.
Yeah.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
So part of the,
You notice
with
that-
the director,
Go ahead.
one of the videos I was watching today, they're pointing out like all his diplomas. If you look at the diplomas on his wall, it's in a hexagon shape.
Is it?
Yep.
Didn't even notice that. I gotta go back there and check that out.
Yep.
Now, I have to ask because I'm not that much of a Marvel person and I slowly have been trying to get into it. What is the hexagon represent?
Her powers.
Her powers,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she has like in the comics. I think they refer to it as hex powers or something like that.
Yeah.
So, did you guys also notice that hear that he brought up space program? You think that's possible tie-in for Fantastic Four?
Yeah. So they were talking about the astronauts that half
Yeah.
of them quit or half of them lost their nerve.
Problems,
Yep.
right?
That's what. And then they were talking about the nanotech.
They are going to be redoing Fantastic Four again, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the talks.
I thought that was more of I didn't even think of the Fantastic Four. I thought of the space program, and I instantly thought of Captain Marvel.
Could be that too.
So it could be that.
Part of
Because
the other
she
thing,
is she is the daughter. She is the daughter of Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel's friend.
Right.
So
right.
that's why I kind of just thought that was more together than Fantastic Four.
And the other thing was they were talking about, they switched from being out in space and dealing more with weaponry and stuff like that. One of the shows coming out is Armor Wars. So could be dealing with that too.
I do find that a little bit of confusion because like Sword is the space division, right? And then what happened to Shield? That's something that they weren't even present.
Well, remember, Shield dissolved.
No,
Shield
well, no.
Shield dissolved after Captain America Winter Soldier because they leaked
Right,
all the
but
Hydra stuff out.
Okay, but at the beginning of Endgame, Black Widow was the director of Shield. I
Black
think she
Widow was the director of the Avengers, not Shield.
director of the Avengers.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there was no Shield at that point. It was just they were sitting at Avengers headquarters.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe that's what that was. I thought.
Yeah, Shield dissolved. Shield dissolved after Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just that base that they were hanging out after the Accords deal.
Okay, but wait a minute, but then in the Infinity War, at the end of Infinity War, when the snap happened, Nick Fury was in a Shield vehicle, rocking Shield gear. He was.
Yeah, he was with
Maria Hill.
Maria Hill.
But you remember. But again, we're going to bring this up, and I'm going to prove my theory because I know this. So again, Shield dissolved after Winter Soldier. Now, if you remember, at the end of Winter Soldier, Maria Hill went to go work for Tony Stark, which then eventually she wound up working for the Avengers because at the end of Age of Ultron, at the Avengers headquarters in upstate New York, there's no Shield. It was just all straight Avengers stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go again and again argue with you on that one.
feel
Because
like I'm listening, but I
I know
still
for a
believe.
fact. I know for a fact that you have not watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all. So I believe that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they did bring S.H.I.E.L.D. back, and I want to say that that either Coulson or the black guy on that show became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I want to say that S.H.I.E.L.D. is still.
What the hell was his name? Yeah, he became the director.
So I'm pretty sure S.H.I.E.L.D. still exists.
And even if they
So-
didn't, they're still going to use the gear because I'm sure he's got stuff stashed everywhere. So he's
Right.
going to have access to their equipment.
Who Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, Nick Fury burnt down all his stuff again at the end of Winter Soldier. He had that storage unit with all his stuff, and he burnt and he
That's
burnt,
one spot,
burnt
though.
it
He's
all.
probably got, he's got safe houses all over the world.
Seth, you're talking about Winter Soldier, which was like 6-7 movies ago. Did you watch any of the other movies after Winter Soldier?
Yeah, but they didn't. But after that, they never. The only other movie that they ever referenced Shield in was Age of Ultron. At the end, when the helicarrier came up, and what's the brother Pietro looked at Captain America, and Captain America was like, "Oh, this is what Shield was supposed to be."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they showed up in the helicarrier and all that.
Supposed to be.
It's
That
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
means Shield doesn't exist anymore.
No, that doesn't. S.H.I.E.L.D. exists. All right, we'll settle on that. You're wrong. I'm right.
What's your reason
Agree
for
to
confidence
disagree.
after this?
I don't need to settle the disagrees because I could prove that. Well, fact prove that after the show. But we'll be all right. Anyway, moving on. This is like your whole theory that Boba Fett's gonna die. We're gonna go with the fact that you don't know.
Sorry, Frankie.
You need to look at that
Frankie's
picture
waiting
again.
so he could just be like, "Hey, Seth, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore."
All right, so then she sent out to New Jersey, to Westview. What did you guys think about that whole interaction there with... I love Jimmy Woo, by the way. I like how he popped the card because it reminded me of...
The magic from Ant-Man. Yeah, from Ant-Man.
I love that he learned the trick. That was great.
I loved it. That was great. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a riot.
So funny.
The police officers, they're sitting right in front of a sign that says Westview, but they're like...
Yeah, they're totally brainwashed there. That was pretty creepy.
That was weird, right?
Yeah, what are you talking about? It doesn't exist. And like, they're both of them are standing there. They're like, there's
Just like,
right
yeah,
there.
that big ass sign right
Yeah.
there.
Where are you from? Eastview. I bust out laughing right there.
and then obviously as it went on and progressed, it made sense because then she goes into the back of the car, she pulls out the drone, and then that was the drone that Wanda found in the bushes.
Yes.
All right, so there's something. So she releases the drone into the WandaVerse,
Which is Captain Marvel colors.
right? And you saw on there that it said like the same 3003. I think that it showed in the on
and
the
it
other
had
helicopter.
the sword, the sword logo on it.
And it
Right.
became Stark colors. I don't know if there's any significance to that.
Right. And I think it said 3000, or maybe it still said 3003 at that point.
Yep.
But it had the
It did.
sword logo
It
in
actually says
the
something 57 on there at the
Yeah.
when it was in her hand,
right.
which they're saying is a reference to issue 57, Vision's first appearance.
Visions first.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's cool.
And then if you look at the SUV that's there, the number on it's 8512, which is a reference to the Wanda and Vision comic 12-issue part series that came out in 85.
No shit. Look at that. That's cool.
Frankie dropping some knowledge.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like you did a lot of research today.
Good. I like it. But what about the fact that the helicopter goes into the WandaVerse before she goes in there, but then she ends up in there in episode 1, and the helicopter doesn't come until like the second episode?
Was Geraldine in there in episode 1?
No,
She was not there in episode 1, but they saw her before episode 2. They
So the thing, the thing about that is that
No, because it was
could there be no conception of time?
No. If you remember, she sees a helicopter, and then Agnes interrupts her right there, and then they go to the pool party at that time, and that's the first time
Yes.
you see Geraldine.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the first in the first 2 episodes. The helicopter doesn't show up until episode 2, and so does Geraldine. She doesn't show up until episode 2 in the way the sitcom flows.
Right.
But when they're spotting out the people and trying to figure out who's who, like what person is who, they spot Monica Rambeau as Geraldine before the start of the second episode in WandaVision. Do you understand? Like what?
Yeah,
they're
she
watching.
was sitting on a park. Yeah, she was sitting on a park bench. But they didn't acknowledge her. They didn't acknowledge her at that time.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Wanda didn't acknowledge her, like you said, until they went to the pool party.
Exactly.
Maybe it was still flying around and the battery died out later.
Maybe that's what that was.
Or
I don't know.
maybe it could have been is that we were so focused on trying to pay attention to other things that maybe we might have missed that.
The helicopter was flying around all the time.
No,
Right.
no. We missed.
They
we
sent
missed
more
when
than
she
one.
was walking, and Geraldine was just sitting on the bench. You know, they were walking by somewhere, and we just missed that.
Missed
They
that, yeah.
sent multiple ones. It doesn't have to be just the one.
Nah, I think it's that specific one. It's because the other ones they kept sending looked more, at least the ones that they showed, looked more like the quadcopters, and they really focused on that helicopter. You know, when they brought that on, they put it on the floor and all that. There was a reason why they kept the camera on that for a while. I think.
Sure.
So I have to go off topic for 1 second because I wasn't with you guys last week.
Uh-huh.
So I was super excited to see that Agnes was actually Cordelia from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And that was probably one of my favorite all-time shows to watch in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it was really nice to see that actress in another show. And I think it's been like 12 years.
Every time I see her, I only think of Step Brothers.
That too.
I can't. That's all I see her.
No.
doing. All right, was it
Not,
Step
sorry,
Brothers?
I'm saying the wrong name. The lady with the blonde hair who was speaking to.
That's not Agnes.
That's not
Dottie.
Agnes.
That's Dottie.
Dottie,
Right.
sorry.
Dottie.
Yeah, Agnes was the sister who was trying to hook up with Will Ferrell.
Right. Or not Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell's brother.
Will Ferrell's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to that time, the timeline stuff. One of the things on that
Prestige
whiteboard
worldwide.
was the question about does time and space matter inside of here?
True. It's definitely protected from a lot of other elements, but you saw that it was raining the over it, and it seemed like the bubble just absorbed it.
Yeah.
So,
And
go ahead.
Oh no, and I like how we got further into the episode that they sent the guy in through the sewer system. To and that was the bee. Obviously, once he crossed over, that was the beekeeper that they saw standing.
Yeah, they give a lot of explanations to all the weird things that we saw in the first 2 episodes.
And then Jimmy Woo with the radio trying to Wanda, you there, Wanda?
Yeah, and also kind of weird. Go ahead.
I was going to say my interpretation of that was like, in let's see, that episode would have been the 60s. They would not have had a hazmat suit. So to translate it into her reality, they had to make something that looked like it, to become a beekeeper. They wouldn't have known what a drone was, so it became that toy helicopter.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I thought that was a little interesting is that Monica goes into the WandaVerse, I'm gonna call it. So she ends up in there. It takes 24 hours for everybody to show up and start monitoring everything. And they finally, when they start monitoring, they're on the first episode of WandaVision when she shows up at the house and that whole first episode. Right. I mean, wouldn't they be further along?
No, they were telling the backstory. That's what they were doing.
But Wanda's been in that little bubble for a while now.
Right. But what they were doing, what they were doing is that they were like at the end of the first episode. When the person was sitting there in front of the TV watching, that was Kat Dennings' character. She was Darcy in Thor. So basically, what they did is that they told the first 3 episodes, and then they went back to show what led up through those first 3 episodes.
I get that. But what I don't get is when did Wanda show up? When did Wanda start that bubble? Because whenever she started that bubble would be...
Say it, Frankie. It's in the script.
Yeah. Well, but one of the comments that she makes is whenever when Darcy says that she washes dishes at least once an episode. Mm-hmm. So by that point, there's only been 2 or 3 episodes. It's kind of a weird comment to make. So it's like, how many episodes have there been that we don't even know about?
Right.
That they've watched.
Yeah, true. Maybe we're only seeing the first 2 episodes or 3 episodes that we saw are just the highlighted episodes, right?
Right.
There's more episodes that they saw. Okay.
We got.
I like Darcy, by the way.
Ones.
Good point.
Darcy was hilarious. I love her.
Yeah. She's like, I'm still waiting on my coffee.
Yeah.
Or when she wants the one what that guy does, and he don't tell her, and then he does tell her, and she's like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah. It's like a molecular scientist. I don't care. She's awesome.
Frankie was on the Darcy tip.
What?
Last week.
Last week.
Oh yeah, you got that, man. I didn't see that at all. I mean, how did they get that from her hands?
No
That's
idea.
crazy.
I just know where to find the information, sir. I don't know how they come about it.
I would have actually liked it since her and Jane Foster actually do astrophysics. I would have liked it if they would have brought in Jane Foster. That would have made more sense, because then you could have at least rolled it over from here into the Thor movie.
This is like Deadpool, bro. You could only afford certain X-Men in the
It's not in the budget.
Not in the budget.
In the budget.
We couldn't afford the rest of the X-Men.
TV budget.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The next highlight of the show is when they move into the 3rd episode and what happens with her and Geraldine in the show, or Rambo when she knocks her back out of the WandaVerse. That was some creepy ass stuff, man.
Yes.
I know. She flew through walls.
Yeah. You notice also that when they were in that area that it was all widescreen. So it was like, this is what you don't see on camera, right?
So it moved like 3 different times.
Yeah. Kept going back and forth. Yeah.
Yep. And like jumping ahead, the last one, like it went narrow again, and it kind of seems like when it's going widescreen, she's more relaxed, and then like at the end, she's like, I got this now, I'm in control,
Right.
And it shrinks up like you're tightening up, getting
She's
more
bringing it
control
back to the 70s, 80s.
Back to the 70s, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It
Yep.
definitely stayed away from the whole sitcom on this one altogether. Everything about it was just about telling us where we were and all of everything leading up to Monica being thrown back out.
Right.
They said one of the deleted scenes, I hadn't seen it yet, for Endgame was Wanda opening up the body bag of Vision. And that must have been when she took the body or something.
What?
Yeah.
So you think that,
It's
when they showed, it's a deleted scene?
Yeah, it's a deleted scene.
Well, then that would kind of make sense why she was, when they were in the house and he came back in and he was blacked out again, like he was dead, like he was dead and the crystal was missing and the stone, the Infinity Stone was missing and all that stuff. Yeah,
you have to think.
that
So
makes
she
sense.
got taken. She didn't really get a chance to like awake, right? You're gonna go observe and get your grieving. So she didn't get to do that. So that makes sense that she would go look at that, and then she probably just snapped and freaking took the body.
Huh? Can that deleted scene be seen on the DVDs, or they just never shot it?
I don't know. I have to check around and see. I heard several different people talking about it.
Her acting there whenever she saw him and, just the way she acted and all that, to me, I was like, man, that is so sad that she's so deep into this illusion. She's basically animated a corpse,
Yeah.
So, and then they go sit at the, on the couch. What are you going to watch on TV? It's like,
Yeah.
it's a
Forget
dead
sitting
dude.
on a couch. They got
Yeah.
busy in the bedroom.
Right, the bedroom scene, and right.
That whole end part was real creepy because he's like, we could leave town, we can go wherever we want to go, and she's like, no, we can't. We can't, you can see Vision's concerned face at that point. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and watch his eyes, like he's like looking over at her, and he's not even really watching the TV.
And then he breaks back into the smile, like back under control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and one thing, whenever Geraldine got knocked out back into the R room, you notice she went through 4 barriers.
Yeah.
So, like breaking the 4th wall.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't notice that too. I gotta check that out.
Frankie's got like we're gonna start calling you Private Eye Frankie because he just like
He's got it, man.
He's got the keen eye.
Frankie was up early this morning, just probably tick, 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 tick away on his computer, researching everything.
There's some stuff I find, and there's stuff that's like, okay, that's got to be some type of clue, and you start digging around.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it, really. I mean, that's what I'm enjoying the most. It's making you think, right? It's not just, yep, that guy can, it's not all visual.
True.
Frankie's digging for those Easter eggs.
Yep.
So speaking of that, all right, so everybody keeps pointing towards, and this is like mostly mine. Somebody at one point mentioned something with Mephisto or whatever, and I haven't like kind of got why everybody's on that bandwagon. And they're like, whenever Dottie at the pool thing, this person that was doing the Easter eggs or whatever said, well, she says the devil's in the details or whatever at the pool party. So I backtracked and went and watched that entire, which I think is one of the better scenes for me in the entire deal, just the creepiness of it. There was the first big glitch, type thing, like what's going on here. So Agnes catches her. This is right after the helicopter. So the illusion has been broken. She finds a helicopter. Agnes walks up and kind of disturbs her observing the helicopter. They head towards the pool party. She says, Dottie is the center of everything that happens in this town.
Right.
Like, oh, is there a deeper meaning to this, there? And she says, Wanda says, well, I can just be myself. And Agnes, of course, laughs at that. So she was like, watch your P's and Q's, almost like, she's trying to get, there's deeper than just the social thing of it, I think, that she was trying. I think Agnes is second fiddle to Dottie. I think Dottie might be the puppet master in all this.
I gotta look back at that scene again, but if you look at the scene when they're identifying everybody that's in the town, I think everybody that's a main character on the show is identified with a New Jersey license ID.
Yeah,
except
you don't
for
see
Agnes. Agnes is
You
the only
don't,
one.
you don't see hers. And did they have
Dottie's
Dottie
not
up
on there at all.
There's
Dottie's
Dottie's
not
not
on
on
there
there
at
at all.
Huh.
Not at all.
Yep, she's not. So she don't even have a picture up there.
All right.
Cue,
So,
Really?
cue the suspenseful music. Dun, dun, dun.
so fast forward a little bit, and Dottie says the devil is. She's talking to the lady that didn't get tables or chairs or something, and she says the devil is in the details. And Agnes says he's a lot more than that, or
Yep.
he's in a lot more than that, or whatever.
Yep.
So it's like,
I was thinking the same thing.
And then, all right, so then a little bit forward, and she's the one that first really confronted Wanda's delusion. So if she is puppet master, then the other side of the coin is, why is she doing this? But she's like, I've heard a lot about you and your husband. Wanda says, we mean no
harm.
We don't want to harm anybody, and she says, I don't believe you. So why is she trying to break the illusion? I'm kind of like, I'm not sure. There's something there, but I'm not sure what it is.
And even the bigger part is the very beginning of this is who's the missing witness protection person? Who's
Yeah.
the person that's missing?
Who is it? Who is it? I know it ain't. I can't think of the black guy's name because I looked his
Herb.
name up. Herb. I looked up his real life name, and his real life name. I tried to look it up in Marvel, and it turns out that particular name ends up being one of the artists or backstage people that were working on WandaVision.
It's actually all of them are people that have worked on some type of or something on the episode.
There you go. So
Yep, I looked all those names up, and they're all people production wise.
okay.
It's not
none of those
mine.
people.
Not mine, but people have speculated that it's Agnes's husband.
Because he's never
that's
being
what I-
shown.
Never shown, right?
Yeah.
Right. She definitely has more going on there.
If he had been on TV, whoever this missing person is, if he had been on the sitcom, they would have said, there he is,
Right.
So somebody we haven't seen.
So
Most
in all
of the
this
forums
research,
I've been-
go
Sorry.
ahead.
No,
go
I
ahead,
was saying most of the forums that I've been reading, they've been saying that there's probably more story. There's more of a story to Agnes as to what they're
Yeah.
telling us,
Mm.
and we're probably going to find out probably in like maybe next episode or two more episodes down.
And it's like, she's getting medium screen time, but
Yeah.
getting some significant lines.
Right.
So there's got to be something there. And then because, like I said, I've been out of comics for a while. I didn't realize that Geraldine's actually a superhero later on.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
Nah. Who did she become?
Photon.
Photon.
Yep. And they're thinking that maybe when she got thrown out, how that Wanda's energy was crackling around her,
Mm-hmm.
and her coming back from the blip kind of mixes maybe, and that's how she becomes Photon.
Be interesting.
But I didn't know that she actually was one later on.
I wonder if they're gonna have any more cameos for other Avengers. It's again odd that this is happening so close to Avengers and all that, and there's no Avenger around to come and help.
So
Right.
whenever this episode started, and they were going to send her out, like I was hoping to see some type of, X-Men Easter egg, like a road sign going to the school or something.
That would be cool.
And then why why that town? Why did she go there?
Right. All good questions with no answers.
Right. Yep.
I did see they just released I guess every week they're doing this, but they have the promo for WandaVision keeps changing, and they add in a little bit more to the trailer so that we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
They show a lot more on yesterday's or Fridays. Yeah, yesterday's trailer release, and they showed different things happening. Like there's a part where I think where Vision falls to his knees. The whole Agnes in the witch costume, and then she kind of loses it for a second, and Vision brings her back.
And she says, you're dead. She
Yeah.
says something about you being dead, or whatever.
So then it's like, what's going on there? Because
Yeah,
if he's playing this Wolverine part in it, you know, he shouldn't be alive.
Right.
So where's his consciousness coming from that he's waking up? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, I mean, in the comics, they brought, you know, during the House of M, they brought back Hawkeye, who was dead prior to House of M, and he had his own consciousness and was fighting against Magneto and Wanda and her brother.
The difference here would be, I would think, that if she actually brought him back to life, then she wouldn't have saw him as being dead.
Right.
There's that illusion, whereas Hawkeye was actually brought back to life.
Well,
It wasn't an illusion.
but he couldn't be brought back to life anyway because he didn't have the stone was gone.
Yeah.
And his whole life, his whole essence and everything revolved around the stone.
Right.
You know, and which kind of almost makes it, it makes you kind of think a little bit, because if you go back to Infinity War and they were in Wakanda and Black Panther's sister Shuri was trying to, you know, they were trying to disconnect the stone from his head. So what really would have happened if that actually had taken place? Would have died, or he would have kept living? But again, we won't know that because that never happened.
Right.
Or maybe they were trying to extract whatever was part of him that was inside that stone and put it somewhere else in order to be able to give it back to him. Or I don't know.
Or maybe his life essence wasn't in the stone, and maybe the stone was just like a battery.
Yeah.
You know.
So maybe they'll find a way to jumpstart him.
Jumper
And I'm having
cables.
serious brain fog. What happened to the stones?
They got destroyed. Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos. Well. Hold on. In the beginning of Endgame, Thanos destroyed him, and then at the end of Endgame, when, you know, obviously the time heist, you know, they went. Captain America, after everything was over, the snap happened. Captain America returned them to
their timeline.
their proper timelines.
So they're still
So the stones are still exist. No,
Right.
the stones are still in existence.
still exist.
They exist in the timeline, but not in the
Not in the current
timeline.
time. Yeah.
But Thanos would have still.
Well, no,
destroyed
Thanos
them.
was gone because Thanos got snapped.
Yes, the Thanos from in the past timeline, but the Thanos that Thor cut the head off is a different Thanos according to Marvel timeline. It's very confusing.
Right.
Well, I was gonna. Well,
I
again,
know, they
and that-
start
and
doing
that-
this, and it's like,
Yeah,
damn it.
and that's what made it. And that's what made it really confusing, because when Nebula shot the past Nebula, technically the future Nebula should have died.
That's what I would have thought. You know, that's Back to the Future time.
Yeah.
She should disintegrate.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like
you know what though?
that
Seth?
emoji of Charlie Day sitting there and writing all this stuff on a massive chalkboard. With you guys
right.
going back and forth with this timeline and that timeline and this going there and that going there.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing about all those timelines is, Seth?
What's that?
There's that many Star Wars.
Right.
Again, back to Star Wars.
Isn't there a scene in the promos where I'm trying to say, it's like Wanda's face, like you're looking at her and it's like yellow and you can see like particles, like she's reassembling something. I always, whenever I saw that, go, she's reassembling the stone.
The Mind Stone.
Yeah.
The Mind Stone.
That's what it
That
makes
would be
me
interesting
think
if
of.
that's
It
what
might
should
be
be
Oh
wrong.
no, it was the Soul. No, it was the Soul Stone that was
Soul
in Vision. It was the
was
Soul
it?
Stone. Sorry, yeah, it was
you're
the Soul
correct.
Stone. Yep.
Yep.
The Soul Stone, not the Mind Stone.
Yeah, the Mind
was the Mind Stone?
the Mind Stone was the red stone.
No, the Soul Stone's the orange one.
I thought the red was the Power Stone.
No, the purple one was the Power Stone.
Soul is the one
Are you guys
that
gonna have another debate?
Soul is the orange one that
Look it up, Frankie. Frankie's already looking it up. I know he is. I can see it.
Soul is the one
Let's
that
see.
Red Skull is guarding.
Here we go. Reality Stone's red.
Okay.
Space Stone is blue. Mind Stone is yellow.
I
Power
told you it
Stone
was
is
There you go.
purple. And Time Stone is green.
Because it was blue in the scepter.
Right. Right.
And
Was
then
it
when
blue in the scepter?
when Thanos
Yeah.
crushed it, then it was yellow. Right.
Well, when Ultron crushed it. Right.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah. Right.
Came out yellow.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're all
The
over the place
plot
on
has
this
thickened.
one. We're all over the place. Any last
This has
thoughts on
been
this
this
episode?
has been the best discussion ever.
Any thoughts on what's going to happen next?
Everybody in the comments are going to be like, "Have y'all even watched these movies?"
I wonder if
That's exactly what's going to happen. We watched Star Wars.
Yeah,
Tune in next week for episode 20.
Yeah, I wonder if episode, because we're going into episode 5 now. So I'm wondering if episode 5 is gonna pick back up in the WandaVerse, or we're gonna pick back up. Or we're gonna pick back up where obviously Rambo, they're trying to Rambo's trying to reassess what happened now, or are they gonna give us like a half Wanda and then a half Rambo type episode?
I think it's gonna be half and half moving forward.
Intermingled,
Yeah.
I think they're going to do like what happened at the end of this episode when they're all watching, the episode of WandaVision at the end, and then the whole screen comes down. I think that's what they meant by bringing it back to square. That we're going to have some of that anyway.
Right. Because you still
got to know what happens next.
You still got to go through the 80s, and flat screen didn't appear until mid 90s.
Right. But if they just jump back to the WandaVision show, another sitcom, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. It's because they did a freaking Dragon Ball Z on me with this episode. It's because we got the end of episode 3, and and Rambo gets knocked out, and we're like, okay, we're finally gonna understand what's going on here. What happened to Rambo now after she's been knocked out of the whole WandaVerse. And then what they did is they brought us all the way back to the beginning, and then brought us back to the exact same end of episode 3.
Yeah.
So.
You want to find out what happens to Monica Rambeau? You want to find out what's going on in Wandaland? Tune into next week's episode of WandaVision. Ha-ha!
Right.
And I'm already thinking about how's episode 9 going to end.
I want them to stay in the sitcom style a little bit more with the reality intertwined with it. But
I want half and half.
Yeah. Same.
My only complaint I have about this show is time. I wish that the episodes were a little bit longer.
Oh yeah.
Again,
They're barely a half hour.
That's 30 minutes long.
Not even. They're like 20 minutes.
And you know what? And honestly, with all due respect, I think 20 to 30 minutes is the perfect time for a TV show, because in reality, you don't have any commercials during the stream, on any of the streaming services, know. So, with that being said, the 20 to 30 minute is perfect if you think about it, because remember, if you're watching regular TV, they got to cram in like 5-10 minutes of commercials. So in reality, that's what you're getting. And also on top of that, if you want my honest opinion, I think 20 to 30 minutes is the perfect thing, because I think that's how much people can actually process in that much of a time span.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me.
45 minutes. I can take 2 hours of that shit.
But there is, a lot of the. I'll talk about that later.
And especially if you're trying to get people to think about what's going on in a show, and they're trying to process information. If you give them too much information, then they're going to get confused and jumbled. So again, that's why I think the shorter episodes are better in my opinion.
What I do appreciate is that for a TV show, they're treating it like a movie, and they're acting. The acting is movie quality.
Yeah.
A lot of times you take something from a movie that starts with movies and put it into TV. Like there's a downgrade in the acting.
right, looks very TV.
They're all putting in a good. They're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a great show. I thought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was awesome.
It started off great, and then it got stupid.
Nah, it got a little slow in season 2, but it picked back up again. I really liked the Ghost Rider season. I liked the LMB season that they had. Towards the end there, I think it was pretty good. I agree that the cinematography was probably low, and so was the
some of the special effects.
Special effects were pretty low.
Weren't up to par.
But I think the overall story was cool, and those were 45-minute long episodes. I mean, I think an hour is good for. I think an hour is great for a
Star Wars
Disney
show?
Plus, not a Star Wars show, a Disney Plus show.
Any show we want.
Yeah, any show we want. But anything that is not on regular TV with commercials.
Well, since you brought it up, Seth, the Obi-Wan show, that's 6 episodes, 1 hour each.
Well, there's not. But in reality, though, is there much story to tell about what happens to Obi-Wan after?
There always is.
There always is.
After the
Do not
Revenge of
talk
the Sith.
badly about Obi-Wan.
There always is.
Back to Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. I know. This is WandaVision. We're all over the road in WandaVision.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. This is WandaVision.
No. This is not the show you want to watch.
Right.
All right. Anybody else got any last words about this episode?
Yes, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great. Again, it clarified a lot of things, to help people better understand where the direction of the show is going. Obviously, I hope we get more answers moving forward, and it stays in that thing rather than going back to making confusion, and then have episode 5, 6, and 7 be confusing episodes again, and then episode 8 be the one that brings everything to sense again, like they just did. I hope it just stays in the path of we're gonna get questions in the beginning of the episode, but then we're gonna get answers at the end.
Anybody else?
To me, the confusion is what makes last episode so good. If you just go back to normal Marvel, then okay. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but that's what makes it unique. So I hope it's a blend at worst.
Okay.
I'm just happy that I'm enjoying a Marvel show that's mixed with the Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Right?
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
All right, Frank, you got anything?
Nope, it's all good, man. I'm enjoying it. Just keep it going. Sucks we only got 5 more episodes, but it is what it is.
Hey, but what is it? Why can't I think of the word right now? Lack of sleep. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's going to be starting in March, so it's like right on the heels of this. So we're
exactly.
gonna have Marvel.
They are. So it's going ahead because I thought they had to postpone that because of Black Widow.
No, I think it's dropping March 21st. I think was the official date. I think.
I mean,
I thought they were going to do that, trying to go back to back, so everybody keep the streaming service going.
I think it is good.
But it's funny though. But like, if they did like what you said, like if they did push it back because of Black Widow, well, that kind of is almost kind of like a spoiler, if you think about it. Because then, okay, how does it tie? How does it tie in?
Right.
All more questions for next episode. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the WandaVision Talk Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all of the content. Until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.
May the Force be with you.